What's going on, guys? So I know it's been a while, about a month I guess, since I posted a video. Um, but I'm at my next job site. This is Monday morning, and not gonna start this job until maybe Wednesday or Thursday. It just got done raining, and I think it's a little bit more rain. But these are my favorite type of jobs, where I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and what I have to do, I will show you. I've got basically 5 acres here that we've got to clear out and kind of tidy up and knock some of these trees down. We were originally going to go in and gut the house out, pull all the sheetrock, insulation, carpet, blah 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 out, and leave the house. But and they were going to flip it or whatever. But after they did a structural engineer review, turns out, the house itself is fine or whatever. So the only thing is that they said the slab needs piers in it. So they don't really feel like putting the money into doing that. So we're not going to take down the house just yet. We are later on, but not right now. So the house is going to stay. Nothing's going to be done to the house. This workshop here is going to go. They're going to keep the slab and use it maybe for like an outdoor basketball court or something like that. But I came up today because you see the wires are still attached, and I just wanted to make sure the electricity wasn't on. The breakers are on, or at least one breaker over there is on, but I don't know if this one's on or not. I haven't even looked at it, but nonetheless, all of this has to come down. Oh, while I'm here, let's look at it and see if it's actually on. Yeah, they're all on, but yeah, this is going to come down, and the slab will stay. So whoever built this thing, I don't know if they didn't do it with pressure treated wood or whatever, but the seal plate at the bottom, maybe it wasn't this area, but in certain areas, there's holes all in the bottom of this thing, so it was all rotted out and junk like that. So it's going to come down, and then let me let this down. We were going to pull this dead tree stump out, but because it's so close to that tree right there, and there are power lines way up there, the trees run through those power lines, it's a good chance that if we do that, we'll disturb the roots on that big tree there. So we're going to leave that one in. They may cut it down and do something fancy with it, but over here, and it's another dead tree there, but I think we're going to leave it too. Over here they had a carport, and this carport is going to have to go. So what we'll have to do between now and Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, is come in and separate the house here. You can see where this was the, I think this was a garage, I think, originally. Because I think this was the garage door right here, and it went across like that. And they turned it into a carport, because this is just a big open room now, and they've got a big chimney and all this junk in there. But we'll have to sever that and get that separated. Like I said, probably take this part off here and separate it right up there, right along there. So we'll go up on top of the roof and cut a line across it. And then this is going to be demolished, and the slab here is going to come up, because it's not a really good slab. It looks like it's just like a weekend project. Somebody took some quickcrete or something and just started pouring stuff. It's all cracked up and stuff. And interesting thing about this property is that I actually thought about buying that property over there. I think it's like 10 acres or something like that. But I thought about buying it and getting that mobile home out of there. And there's another abandoned house behind that mobile home. But nonetheless, I didn't buy that one. So, but yeah, this carport's coming off. And over here, there's a few barbed wire fences that we've got to take down. There's a just a wire fence right here, like a chain link, not a chain link, but a that's actually barbed wire. It's a barbed wire fence here, as you can see. So we've got to get that fence. There's two fences. There's one up very front, and then there's one like about 5 to 6 feet away from the front fence or whatever. You may be able to see one of the poles right out there, but T-posts, my bad. But we got to take that barbed wire fence down, all the T-posts, and then all these little trees that are kind of growing around here. There's a lot of, I guess they call them like mesquite trees out here with the big red thorns on them. You can see them right there. So I don't know. I mean, we call them mesquite trees. They may have another name, but it's a lot of those. And the thing about those is that you don't see them until you step right into them and stab you in the eye or something like that. So, but we got to come. His property line goes all the way to that wood fence way in the distance over there. So we're gonna come in and clear out all of this, just kind of open it up a little bit and kind of get some of this overgrowth knocked down or whatnot, and just kind of make it a little bit neater, I guess. And then it goes all the way back as far as you can see to that fence over there. All those trees and stuff like that are his. So it goes from that fence line all the way to the street way over there. But anyway, so yeah, we'll do that. And then that barn over there, we've got to take it down. And I may not walk this whole thing because it just got done raining. And as you can see, water stands. And that's kind of what slowed me down on this job, is out in the middle of nowhere. And I don't really like getting stuck in the machinery in the fields. So, and what we're planning on doing, he's actually got a burn pile or whatever that he wants to get knocked down. And people that lived here before, they had a burn pile. It was actually the neighbors behind him that had the burn pile, but they put it on his property. Yeah, you see these those thorns I was talking about that will just come up and stab you right in the eye. I mean, that's like perfectly eye level with me right now, so I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, that's right there. So you got to be real careful around these things. But anyway, yeah, they had the burn pit and they put it on his property, and so he wants it knocked down. But I went and looked at it. It's full of metal. I'll show you in a little bit, but it's full of metal and all kinds of crap. So we're gonna take that down. But this little fuel tower here, we'll take it down. And like I said, it's generally just like it's more land clearing than anything, just kind of clearing up some of this junk. All these little scraggly looking trees, we'll clear those out. All this right here, we'll leave this evergreen, but we'll clear out all this. He kind of wants to open it up. They're going to build a house in the backfield, which I'll show you kind of where that's going to be, and then you'll see why we're clearing all this out. This fence is going to be taken down. This barn here is going to be taken down. But yeah, all this is coming out. So that slab over there, it's going to be taken out. We were going to leave it, but it's going to be taken out as well. And it's another one of those weekend warrior type project deals where it's not really professionally done. It's kind of broken up. You can see the tree is falling through that barn already. And it's a lot of scrap metal and junk like that around this. There's a lot of trash too, but and then this one here, it's just soaking wet, like all on the inside. So I was hoping for a little bit of dry weather, but the forecast is showing a little bit of rain today, and then Tuesday and Wednesday there's no rain, and Thursday there's not supposed to be any rain. But then Friday, or I take that back, Thursday night it's supposed to rain, and then Friday it's supposed to kick back up. And pretty much Friday, all of next week, and then a little bit of the week after that, there's anywhere from 40 to 60% chance of rain. So, but yeah, all these little trees here we're gonna get out. And good thing is, like I said, since it's mostly land clearing, and then recycling of this metal, the scrap metal, we can take it to the recycling place. We get a little bit of money for it, about $5. I'm just joking. It's more than $5, but yeah, all the trees and stuff like that. He said we can just dig a hole in the back and put it all in there, so it'll save a little bit of time, a lot of money trying to take this junk, because really there's nowhere to really take these trees around here where I live. Um, the city of Greenville has a mulch pile, but it's only open to certain contractors, and they don't let you dump anything in there, so you end up having to take this junk, all these trees and stuff like that, to uh, Dallas, which is sort of a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And bad thing is that, like, when you recycle trees, everybody's talking about recycle this, recycle that, but realistically, the cost of recycling here, a lot of this stuff is just ridiculous. Like, I've tried it before, but it's cheaper, honestly. And see, that was one of those things right there. It was in the ground, and it actually stabbed my pants leg. But yeah, I've tried to recycle some of this stuff, from lumber to drywall to vinyl siding, and it just costs so much. I mean, the landfill will do $45 a ton for everything you got, and the recycling place, they wanted $45 per ton, or per what am I talking about? Trailer load, or whatever you want to call it, regardless of whether it's a ton or not. They wanted $45 for the drywall, and then another $45 for. So basically, every different item was a different price. I think the siding was like $35, and drywall $45. Lumber was another 40 something or whatever. So you end up paying way, way, way too much. But you're trying to do something good. You're trying to recycle it, but at the same time, they're kind of just stiffing you on it. So, which is, I know, probably gonna rub some people the wrong way, me saying that, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are all about reduce, reuse, recycle. But for us contractors, realistically, sometimes, especially on these jobs, if it was like a skyscraper or some major industrial, then it'd be a little bit different. But for small guys like me, it's a little bit more difficult to justify the cost of recycling lumber and drywall and all that stuff. So anyway, another mesquite tree here, another one there. This is all metal, so it'll be completely scrapped and recycled. The house is going to go kind of back in this area here. All this here we've got to clear out, except for the big trees. We're going to take that chain link fence down. We started taking that down, but I was going to use the fence at my property as a new fence, but there's so many trees grown up through the fence that it doesn't make any sense to even try to get it. And I'm not talking about just through the net, the fabric itself. I'm talking about, like, they're growing around the fabric, so the fabric is now embedded inside of the tree trunks. So it's kind of a waste of time. We'll just come in with the excavator, rip it out. If we have to throw it in the fire because of the trees, we'll burn all the trees off of it, and then I'll pull it out right at the end, and then we'll take it to the recycling place. So there's an 18-wheeler trailer over here that we've got to get out of here. We can either, I'm thinking that the brakes are going to be locked up. It's been sitting here so long that there's trees growing through it as well, and in front of it. The guy who owns the thing, and he said there's something living inside there. So I don't know if it's a person or if it's a wild beast or what the heck it is, but he was saying something lives inside there. So hopefully I won't get nothing run up on me while I'm out here in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Get attacked by some monster. Nobody would ever find me out here. But anyway, yeah, he was wondering how they got the trailer in here, because you can see there's two good-sized trees, well, at least one good-sized trees that have grown up, like, in front of this trailer. So that was kind of perplexing at first. So I told him had to have been sitting here for a really, really long time in order for a tree that size to grow up in it or in front of it. So anyway, that's coming out. So the trees around it are going to come out. They'll be collateral damage. They could be safe, but they'll be collateral damage. So he said, don't worry about them. But yeah, all these little trees here, all that over there, we'll kind of touch on it, but we won't get too in depth with it. There's a creek that runs along the property line over there, so we won't mess with it too much. And then all this back here, the actual property line stops about halfway through that pond, so probably around where that group of trees is right there is where the property line stops in the back and goes all the way across. There used to be some stakes, but you can't see them anymore. So you can see the burn pile over there that belonged to those neighbors back there, but they took it upon themselves to put it on his property, and so now he wants it kind of moved, but it's mostly just ashes and dirt and a bunch of fire ants. I found out that fire ants, for whatever reason, love wood ash. If you leave a burn pile sitting for a while and come back to it, you'll notice that there's a lot of fire ants in it, and so that's what I've found out. But we're gonna get all the metal and crap out of that burn pile, and then push the dirt over, kind of grade it out a little bit, and then I'll dig a new burn pile either right beside that one, because they're going to have the house kind of right in this area here. He wants the driveway to come in from the front over there all the way back, come around like this, and then it'll cut back out like that. So it's going to be a good house, good size house, I guess, kind of right in this area here. But all the front is going to be just open and cleared out, so they'll have a really large front yard. So pretty much everything you see here, minus a few trees, the bigger trees, is going to eventually be gone. They're not going to tear that house down until they get this house underway. So once it's all said and done, it'll be a nice circle drive with a big opening, a couple trees here and there, give some shade, some scenic atmosphere. But that's the plan with that. But yeah, for whatever reason, ants love charred wood. Every time I step on a burn pile, there's ants, fire ants, red fire ants everywhere. So I don't know what it is. I don't think they're attracted to carbon or phosphorus or any of the other good stuff that comes from wood ash, but you can see where they created a fire break. And if you look at this property on Google Maps, which I'm not really going to give the address for the owner's privacy, but if you were to look at the property on Google Maps, you could see that all this right there used to be a trail, a drive that goes all the way back to that property back there, and it came back here. They created the fire break, and then there's another pathway that ran somewhere in this area over to that lake over there, or that little pond. So anyway, so yeah, you can see this burn pile's got a bunch of mud and metal and crap like that in it, so which is kind of like one of those deals where they start putting all kinds of trash, and I mean, it's got like paint thinner buckets and junk like that in it. I don't know if you can see it right over there, but some type of chemical bucket. So I said, I'll come get all the metal out of it, and we'll push this over, flatten it out, and then either dig the new burn pile pit right here, or maybe right over there. But yeah, the driveway's going to come in right where those posts are, that one post right there. So it'll come in and go around like that. But I am all for people burning wood, just because it's one of those deals where everybody's yelling, we got a problem at the landfill, and most of the wood in a house is untreated anyway, so brush and stuff like that, I mean, heck, mankind's been burning trees and brush since the beginning of time, whether it's for food or campfires, bonfires, whatever. I am not for people burning plastics and rubber and all that toxic crap, but trees, wood, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people out there are against it, but it's nowhere near as bad as what some people think. Anyway, all these trees here gotta go. Along this fence line over here, these trees gotta go. Just some of this brush. They don't want all the privacy gone. They like the fact that it's enclosed a little bit. So we're gonna leave a lot of these trees up. We're gonna get that old broken gate right there. And like I said, just generally clean up the area and just make it look a little bit nice. Like those 4 trees right there will stay, and maybe even that weird one right at the end. But all these little things right here, the T-post, the chain link fence, is gonna go. If that frog is still there, he might get run over. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's in there somewhere. And I'm gonna clear some of this out. So that's the next project. There's a tire recycling company like a half mile, 3/4 of a mile down the road, headed back towards town. And I really hope my lens isn't got too much water on it. Let me wipe this off. Hope I don't make it worse, but if I do, I apologize. Okay, I think that was a little bit better. But those big tires there, and then there's 2 more tires up here. We'll take those, have those recycled, because, I mean, yeah, technically I could throw them in the burn pit. I keep saying pile. I could throw them in the burn pit, but they're going to put out so much nasty black smoke. And like I said, I don't particularly like it. It stinks, and in and of itself, it's very toxic, so. But I am a pyromaniac, so if you ask me to burn some wood, yeah, all day. But anyway, I've got to clear just this little brush off right here, and by the time we get done, I mean, it'll look like a completely different place. So we're just kind of waiting on it to dry up a little bit. Hopefully, we're going to get some pretty strong winds today, and I think the rain is just about gone for the day. So over the next few days, it should dry up pretty good. Actually, the sun should come out this afternoon and dry all this up. Is what I want to do. Instead of taking this down and trekking it back there with the machine all the way back there, sort of a long distance to drive, and I don't want to be putting ruts and junk like that all in there, and it just takes so long. It's sort of inefficient, really inefficient actually. So we'll probably get a dump truck out here or something like that, and we'll do it like a regular job where I just take it down, put it in the dump truck, and then just drive the dump truck back there, drop it off, and keep coming back, so it'll take half the time. But anyway, that's the next project, and I'm gonna wrap this one up. It's almost I guess about 11:30, I guess. But yeah, these are my favorite jobs, the ones out in the middle of nowhere, because number one, you don't have to have a permit. Not that getting permits is a big deal, but you don't have to have one. So and I mean, just in all the directions. I mean, back that way there's houses, but everybody's so far spread out. Across the street there's nobody. Down this road here there's like 2 houses, but they're kind of back there. All that way there's nothing. There's one house at the very end, but it's way at the end of that road. So, and then if you look on the map, the roads are titled Mud Road. So anytime you see something titled Mud Road, you're pretty far out there most of the time. So, and thank God we ain't got to clean this mess up. But anyway, that's the new project. And oh yeah, before I wrap this video up, I know it's not really important to most people. Most people do it at a higher number, but to all 52, I think it's 52 right now, subscribers that I have, I just want to say thank you. Honestly, I don't get paid for YouTube yet, obviously, and I'm not really worried about getting paid from YouTube. I mean, if I ever get to the point where I've got 100,000 or more subscribers, and I end up getting paid, from YouTube, that's great. But I usually use my YouTube. Actually, I only use my YouTube right now to promote my demolition business, which is where my main source of revenue comes from. So I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I don't live on YouTube. I just put it up there as something for people to watch. So I know some of you. I know at least three or four of my subscribers personally, but the rest of you, I don't really know who you are, because a lot of the subscribers, it doesn't tell me who actually subscribed. So it just, I wake up and I look and I see somebody else subscribed. So I know who a few of you are, but the rest of you I don't. But all of you, like I said, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'm actually going to try some new stuff this year. I'm going to get a drone here pretty soon, and I'll just have to have somebody to fly it. But I'm going to get a drone and, start doing some overheads, and maybe while I'm tearing down the houses or whatever, we'll have drone footage and stuff like that, and, try some different camera angles. And then I may even, I know I've gotten, a lot of positive feedback, I guess, on the format in which I do my demos, which is usually I speed them up, a little bit, and then I'll put, some music to them or something like that. And the only reason I do that is because I know most of you do not want to sit and watch, 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever, worth of demolition, because you're not doing it yourself. If you're doing it, it's very fun. If you're watching it, it's cool. But most of you probably have, other stuff you have to do throughout the daytime. So you probably don't want to sit and watch that all day. So that's why I speed it up, put some music to it. You get the general idea. And my brother, who's one of my subscribers, told me that he's been out on a few jobs with me while I'm demoing. And he said that when he's on the job, he'll see me doing something, and he's wondering why I'm doing it, like this or like that, or, one of the things that him and my mom both said when they saw some of my videos was, why do you keep picking up all the debris and dropping it? Like, why are you playing with the debris? And I told him, I'm not playing with the debris. What I'm doing is crunching it up to get it from what looks like a lumber state down to what looks like wood mulch. So you just get better volumetric efficiency in the dumpsters when you do that. So I told them that's what I'm doing, and that's it's hard to see sometimes when you're on the job site because everything is slowed down. But when I speed it up, it makes a lot more sense. And even some of the times when I'm raking stuff or pushing this or doing that, blah blah blah, my brother said on the job site he didn't understand why I was doing it, but then once he saw it on the video sped up, then it made perfect sense why I did what I did. So, and that's gonna have to go. I think I may be able to push that thing over. I may make some videos that are in real time without the music and just the actual raw footage. The only thing is I don't talk that much. I talk for the videos, but in general I'm not a very talkative person. And anybody that knows me knows it. I mean, I have days where I talk quite a bit, but for the most part, I don't talk very much. Usually keep to myself most of the time. So I wouldn't be like a Cotton Top or like Chris Ewins, Let's Dig 1-8. I wouldn't be like those guys that are in there talking and giving you a story, while they work. That's not me. I just, like I said, I just don't really talk that much. I mean, I put my headphones in, I'll have Pandora on, and I'll just be working in my own little zone. So if I choose to make videos like that, then, like I said, you'll hear more of the machine and the actual house or whatever it is that's being taken down. But you won't hear me talking very much. So just FYI, it's not going to be one of those deals where you're going to be listening to me tell jokes and laughing while I do this. So nonetheless, with all that said, I bet some of y'all are probably saying, I thought you said you don't talk much. Well, I said I don't talk much, but I do talk for the videos because you have to know what's going on. So Anyway, yeah. Once again, it's a new project. We're starting, like I said, Wednesday or Thursday. We'll let it dry out a little bit. Hopefully, we can get a dump truck in here. And got another one up in Trenton, Texas, that I'll be starting maybe within a week or so. And we've been on a lot of projects this year so far. Some of them are kind of big. And then we've got projects from last year that we've bid on that we're just waiting for. Some of them have legal issues and stuff like that that are not related to me, but in general. So, we're just waiting to hear back answers on those. So, got some other stuff planned. I won't announce what it actually is until I actually do it. But, yeah, I got a few things planned this year. But, yeah, I just wanted to say, thanks to all 52 of y'all currently at the time of making this video. And honestly, I never thought that there would be that many people that would subscribe to me, tearing down stuff, inside of a machine. I mean, I'm not doing pranks or, nothing like that, So, and I know that's kind of all the rave right now on YouTube, but, I guess there's a niche for everybody out there. And, one of the things that I heard, because I was subscribed, and I only reason I unsubscribed was because my little niece was just, she was every single time she come over, can I watch the Ace Family? Can I watch the Ace Family? So I was like, oh. So I finally just had to unsubscribe. But every now and again, I'll check in on them. But I mean, it's not like they really miss my subscription anyway. They got like 18 million subscribers. But one of the things that I heard from Austin at the Ace Family a long time ago was that if you're going to start a YouTube channel, do what it is that you enjoy and not what you want people to subscribe to you for. Or basically, if it's not something that you enjoy and it's not something that you're passionate about, you probably won't enjoy making the videos anyway. So you're probably not going to be very successful at it. So don't be fake. Don't try to be somebody that you're not, just for the sake of getting views and trying to make money on YouTube or whatever. If you enjoy it and you want to document it and put it out there for the world to see, then do it, regardless of whether it gets you, in my case, 52 subscribers after 2 years, or whether it gets you, 520,000 or 5.2 million. If you enjoy it and you're passionate about it, then people will recognize that you're actually enjoying what you do, and the success therein will come after that. I've seen so many people on YouTube who are doing what they think everybody wants to see, but it's not part of them. It's not who they are. People trying to do pranks that are completely out of their nature, or trying to make videos that are completely out of who they are as a person. Like, you'll probably never catch me doing prank videos, just because it's not that don't have a sense of humor or anything like that. I'm not really that good at pranks and jokes and stuff like that. People will tell me jokes and I'm like, what? So it's a joke. I was like, oh, okay. But usually that's just because I'm thinking about work or something like that. But nonetheless, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, just do what it is you're passionate about. And so I'm passionate about demolition and, love working with heavy equipment. And most of you don't know, but I actually have 2 businesses that I currently run right now. And the demolition is the one that everybody sees. My first business, or the business that I have in addition to demolition, that started the demolition business, is a custom home design business, which is SML Custom Homes, and I'll put the link down in the description for everybody if you want to go check that out. I haven't really been doing much with that because I've been so busy with demo, and because most of the revenue that I've made over the past few years has been from demolition, and demolition is hard work, but it's made easy with the use of excavators and stuff like that, skid steers. Custom home designing is totally different. And while I have designed custom homes for custom clients, um, a lot of what I do is like pre-designed homes or whatever. So I'll come up with an idea for a home plan that um, I think would look good, function, blah 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 blah, and kind of like what you see in the grocery, not the grocery stores, in like Walmart and stuff like that when they have the uh, home design magazines or whatever. You see those, and that's all they are. They're called stock plans as well. So I do that. But the thing about that is that the market for custom home design and home plans and stuff like that is so overly saturated that there's like a tremendous amount of competition. And then you've got guys fresh out of high school who are, I don't want to say fresh out of high school, but I'll just put it like this: everybody and their mom is trying to, design a house or something like that. So I'm really good at it, and you know, um, it's just one of those deals that I've actually thought about whether or not I wanted to keep that business and start another one, but we'll see. One of the things I was told by one contractor, and then I really am going to wrap this video up, but one of the things I was told by one of the contractors is that a lot of people nowadays, when they go to build a house, they won't buy plans online. What they'll do is they will find a contractor, a general contractor, builder, whatever you want to call them, that is very good, that's been doing it for a really, really long time. They'll go online to websites that sell custom home plans or stock plans, I'll put it like that. And instead of buying the plan, they will, right click and save the actual floor plan with an elevation. And some of the designers have disabled right click features on their website, so you can't save their plans, but you can print screen them. And if you can't print screen them, no one can stop you, especially now with the newer monitors. They're flat, so you can really get a good accurate measurement scale, or whatever you want to call it, of a floor plan just from simply putting it on your screen and taking a picture of it. Any good designer can take any floor plan, even if it's not to scale, because sometimes what they'll do is they'll take the room sizes and they will make them fake numbers. So you'll have a master bedroom that says it's 15 foot by 32 foot, and it looks nothing like 32 foot. They do that to throw you off, because they don't want you stealing their work and building the house without paying them for it. But it happens. But most designers, architects, whatever you want to call them, they can take any plan you give them, whether it's to scale or not, or whether it has fake dimensions. I don't say to scale, but whether there's fake dimensions on it or not. And there are some knowns, some givens, things that are just standard on every single house, that all they have to do is take that floor plan, put it into AutoCAD or whatever it is they use, scale it to that known feature, and instantly they can design that entire house, even with the fake room size labels on there. And what ends up happening is, I said all that to say, a lot of designers spend a lot of time designing these custom homes and stuff like that, and these stock home plans. But if people are just going to steal them online and just take them and build a house from there, then it kind of just defeats the whole purpose of even trying to put those plans out there. So that's kind of the dilemma that I'm in. I've got a lot of ideas that I want to put down on paper, but like I said, it just takes so much of your mental energy and time designing these things. And yeah, I've got guys who I know who I could pay to design these houses for me and put them all together in AutoCAD. I come up with the original design, they put the packages together in AutoCAD, from the slab to the floor plans to elevations, electrical plans, blah 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 blah. But what's the point of paying someone if the plan itself doesn't sell, or like right now, I don't know if any, I mean, I know the custom homes that I've designed for people. I know those projects that have been built. I've gone by, I've seen them, I've been told about them. But as far as any of the stock plans that I've done, a lot of hits come on Pinterest like at least once a day, or a few times a week actually. I'll get a notification from Pinterest saying so and so has saved your pin, or blah blah blah, or it always says you have good taste. So for all I know, someone could easily just take one of those plans that I've designed, right click, save, go to a very well known builder and say, hey, can you build this? And the builder can look at a really good builder can look at a floor plan. He can build the house based on a floor plan, because there are certain things, like I said, that are just given on every single project. And once you do so many houses, you kind of know what structural members go where, and what it's going to look like in your head, and how much it's going to cost, ceiling heights, and all this stuff. So they can do all that. And the thing about home design is that you can take the exact same floor plan and build the same floor plan for 5 or 6 different houses, but have it look totally different on the outside. So you could take you could take the floor plan of this house, and there are certain things you could do to it. You could add gables over the windows. You could change that gable there to a hip roof. You can increase the height of that porch. There's so many things you can do to it. It'll look like a totally different house, but when you walk the plan, it's the exact same house. So, except for all I know, somebody could be out there. They could have already taken some of my plans and right-click, saved them, have them built in states that I've never been to. They could be, as far as New York or whatever. And I will never know it. I'll probably never see it because, how do you track something like that down? So, and yeah, I've had instances where some clients have come to me with ideas and sketches and stuff like that, or kind of a design that they say, I kind of like the way this is laid out, but I don't like this. I like this, da da da. Can you do this, da da da? So it gives me something to look at. I can go through and create a plan based on kind of the flow of the house that they want or whatever. But yeah, it's just one of those deals. Like I said, I don't really know if I'm gonna keep that business or not. I want to, because it was one of the first ones I started. It was actually the second business I started, but first business I started was a long time ago, like when I was like 22 years old, and it was just an online skating business. I used to sell skates online, so, and the reason I did that was because I have this thing about being conquered by stuff. When I was younger, I used to skate a lot, and I remember busting my mouth and just bleeding everywhere at the skating ring. And for a while, I was scared of skates. And it's kind of one of those deals that I never wanted to be defeated by it. I never really got back on skates after that until I started that business, and I actually got pretty good at skating as well. Same thing with riding motorcycles. The first time I rode a motorcycle, I fell in the ditch across the street from the old house that I used to live in, and ended up with my wrist in a sling. I didn't break anything, but it just kind of hurt real bad. And didn't want to be defeated by that, so I got back on that bike, rode it around, and every bike since then that I've been asked to ride or that's been presented to me, I've ridden. I've got my own motorcycle. It's actually more of a drag bike than anything. It's a well, you don't really need to know what it is. It's a Suzuki GSXR. It's been stretched and lowered. It's got a stroker kit in it. It's not very street friendly, but I bought it like that. So, but yeah, I just have this thing. I don't like to be defeated by anything, because I feel like once something happens to you and you get that fear stuck in your head, then it immobilizes you. And my uncle had a saying for the word fear, and it was false evidence appearing real. And maybe that was a universal saying, but yeah, I just don't like being, conquered or feel like I'm defeated by anything that has kicked me in the butt. So anyway, once again, thank everybody for subscribing, and I don't ask anybody to subscribe. I was told maybe I should start asking people to subscribe, but I feel like if the content is kind of what you like to see, then you will subscribe. And if it's not, then you won't. And I mean, I see a lot of videos from a lot of people that I like their content. I don't necessarily subscribe to their channel, but I will watch them over and over and over again. So, if you want to subscribe, then please subscribe. And if you don't, no harm, no foul. Appreciate you stopping by anyway. And I am going to, I think it's almost close to lunchtime. I got a phone call a while ago, but I don't think they left a voicemail. So I'm going to get off here so I can actually start answering my phone. Maybe it's more people calling for business. So anyway, once again, thank you everybody.